Cowlitz County Official Local Voters Pamphlet, August 5th, 2025 Primary. No postage needed when mailing your ballot. Look for your primary ballot by July 18th, 2025. Published by the Cowlitz County Auditor's Office, 360-577-3005, www.co.cowlitz.us/ELECTIONS. Table of Contents. Voter Resources. Auditor's Letter, page 1. Accessible Voting, page 2. Ballot Dropbox Locations, page 2. Keep your registration current, page 3. Not registered to vote, page 3. Voting Tips, page 4. Election Observers, page 4. Candidate Statements. City of Kelso, page 5 to page 7. City of Longview, page 8 to page 16. Ballot Measures. Local Measures, page 17 to page 19. Note: to significantly reduce taxpayer costs, only a single version of the voter's pamphlet is mailed to every household in Cowlitz County. It is countywide and not tailored to any particular district. Your ballot will contain only the races and issues that you are eligible to vote on based on where you live. Participating jurisdictions: City of Kelso, City of Longview, Fort Vancouver Regional Library. Cover photo provided by Tom Gunn. Page 1. Auditor's Letter. Dear voters, historically, counties see a sharp drop in participation in odd-year local elections. Local elections matter. The candidates we elect to City Council, Port Commissioner, Fire Commissioner, school board members, and other local districts make decisions that impact our daily lives. We designed this pamphlet to help you make important choices about the races and measures appearing on your ballot. You will find statements submitted by candidates, statements for and against local ballot measures, information on how to properly cast your ballot, information on where to return your ballot. Did you know that you can confirm that your ballot has been received and accepted? Visit votewa.gov to check your ballot status and ensure your voter registration is current. Contact Cowlitz County Elections if you have any questions at 360-577-3005. Local elections matter. This is your community, and your vote is your voice. Sincerely, Carolyn Fundingslin, Cowlitz County Auditor. Voter registration deadlines. Online and by mail, July 28th by 5 p.m. In person, August 5th by 8 p.m. It is illegal to vote if you are not a United States citizen, vote if you have been convicted of a felony and have not had your voting rights restored, cast a ballot or sign a ballot declaration on behalf of another voter. Please report suspected incidences of voter fraud or election law violations to the Washington Secretary of State's office. Phone 360-902-4180 or email elections@sos.wa.gov. Page 2. Accessible Voting. Using Clear Access. Cowlitz County voters who are unable to vote their ballot in the standard way have the option to vote independently using an Accessible Voting Unit, AVU. The Clear Access AVU can display larger type or provide an audio ballot for persons with visual or cognitive disabilities. The equipment supports a number of assistive switches. Beginning 18 days before each primary or election, the Clear Access Unit is available from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Election Day from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. at the Cowlitz County Elections Office. Ballot Dropbox Locations. Choose one of our 8 convenient locations. Castle Rock, 137 Cowlitz Street West in front of the Castle Rock Library. Kalama, North 1st Street near the Kalama Post Office boxes. Kelso, Bridge Market Lane between LJ's Furnace Drug and the Allen Street Bridge. Kelso, 207 North 4th Avenue, Admin Building North Entrance Parking Lot. Longview, Broadway Street east of the Longview Post Office boxes. Longview, Civic Center Circle, across from Broadway Street near the Longview Post Office boxes. Riderwood, 208 Morse Street next to the Riderwood Library. Woodland, City Parking Lot at Davidson and 2nd Street near the city's utility payment drop box. Ballot drop boxes are open 24 hours a day starting July 18th, 2025, and close promptly at 8 p.m. on election night, August 5th, 2025. We recommend dropping your ballot in one of our secure drop box locations. If you choose to mail your ballot instead, ballots come with a prepaid postage, so no stamp is necessary. Don't be late. Mail early so that your ballot is postmarked by Election Day, August 5th, 2025. Page 3. Keep your registration current. While the election office is continually updating the voter rolls with information from the Department of Licensing, the post office, local obituaries, and monthly public health deceased lists, you can do your part by following these simple steps. Update your address with the elections office whenever it changes. Address changes can be made through votewa.gov by email, mail, or phone until July 28th. You may update your registration in person until 8 p.m. on Election Day, August 5th. If you are a snowbird or a college student, call or email our office to set up a seasonal or temporary mailing address. Return to sender. If you receive a ballot for a person who does not live at your address, write "does not live here" on the unopened envelope and put it back in the mail. Do not return it in a ballot drop box. If you receive mail for a recently deceased voter, write "deceased" on the unopened envelope and put it back in the mail. We will research and follow up. Candidate and measure statements are printed exactly as submitted. No spelling, punctuation, or grammatical corrections have been made. Cowlitz County does not confirm that the statements are true or factual. The candidate or committee is responsible for content. This provides voters a candid, unedited view of submission. Not registered to vote? 3 ways to register and obtain a ballot. Online, votewa.gov. By mail, call us at 360-577-3005 and we will mail you a form. In person, Cowlitz County Elections, 207 North 4th Avenue, room 205, Kelso, Washington, 98626. To register to vote, you must be a citizen of the United States, a legal resident of Washington State, at least 18 years old, not disqualified from voting due to a court order, not serving a sentence of total confinement for a Washington felony conviction, not currently incarcerated for a federal or out-of-state felony conviction. Page 4. Voting tips. Fill out your ballot. You can use any color of pen to complete your ballot. You do not have to vote in every race to have your ballot counted. Make selections in the contest you like to vote, and you can skip those that you're unsure about. Sign your envelope. Don't forget to sign the back of your return envelope. Your ballot cannot move forward in the process without a valid signature. Return your ballot in a ballot drop box. There are 8 drive-up locations across the county. You can find a list on page 2 of this pamphlet. Drop boxes close promptly at 8 p.m. on Election Day, August 5th, 2025. If returning by mail, your ballot must be postmarked by Election Day, August 5th. No stamp is needed. You can also return your ballot in person at the Cowlitz County Elections office up until 8 p.m. on Election Day. Election observers. Observe the election process. Our goal is for the public to understand the election process. Touring our facility during an election is a great way to learn about how elections are fair, safe, and secure. As an observer, you will be able to ask questions about what you are seeing and witness the path of a ballot's journey firsthand. Anyone can observe the election process. Call our office at 360-577-3005 if you're interested in viewing the process. Page 5. City of Kelso, Council Position 3, 4-year term, Jackie Collins. Contact information, phone 360-749-1688. I have lived in Kelso almost all my life. My mother was a widow with 3 small children and found a job teaching in Kelso in 1966. I watched the small hamlet of Kelso grow into a mid-sized town over the years. With the Portland area growing in our direction, we need people who are able to envision a workable future for a progressive town with small town cohesiveness. I have owned a business, taught school, and sat on the local HUD board for years. Making life better for everyone in Kelso is my ultimate goal. It would be an honor to represent you for position 3 on the Kelso City Council. Education, LCC 1972 to 1973, Portland State 1973 to 1976, BS, University of Portland 1979 to 1980, Graduate Studies. Page 6, City of Kelso, Council Position 3, 4-year term. Kimberly LaFave, contact information 360-431-8808, email tokidast@gmail.com. I am Kim LaFave. I am a lifetime resident of Kelso, Washington. I'm an avid supporter of our community. I believe we all deserve a say in our political system, and I will always do my best to listen to the citizens of Kelso. I am a wife, mother, and a grandmother. I went all the way through the Kelso school system, as did my daughters. Kelso is a great place to raise a family and to thrive. Let's keep it that way. Page 7. City of Kelso, Council Position 3, 4-year term. Sean Legry. Contact information, phone 360-989-7580, email legry4kelso@gmail.com, website legry4kelso.com. Hello, I am Sean Legry. I am running to represent Kelso in its 3rd City Council position. I have been working in pharmacy over 10 years, much of it dealing with insurance. I have lived most of my life in Southwest Washington and attended Clark College. I believe in the strength of our Constitution and that its rights and responsibilities are to be shared by all of us. I will make sure that Kelso will always support its local business and unions. Thank you for your support. Page 8. City of Longview, Council Position 5, 4-year term. Mike Claxton. Contact information, phone 360-560-8533, email mike@claxtonforcouncil.com, website claxtonforcouncil.com. The city of Longview is a great place to live. This is a city that cares about our children, our families, and one another. The health, safety, and welfare of our community must always be our highest priority. Longview also has great bones. However, like our bones, we need to make sure we are taking care of this community by continually investing in ourselves and being good stewards of taxpayer dollars for long-term success. As an attorney here in Cowlitz County for nearly 30 years, I have worked with individuals from all walks of life and assisted businesses working to find and build solutions for their needs. It would be a privilege to bring these skills to the City Council of Longview. I am currently on the Budget Committee and board member of Red Canoe Credit Union, a board member of Lower Columbia College Foundation, a member of Noon Rotary, and a vestry member of St. Stephen's Episcopal Church. I served 18 years as legal counsel for the Kelso Longview Chamber of Commerce. I have also previously served on the boards of the YMCA of Southwest Washington, Cowlitz Valley Runners, and Kelso Soccer Club, where I was also a coach. Page 9. City of Longview, Council Position 5, 4-year term. P.J. Peterson. Contact information, phone 360-430-1003, email pjforcitcouncil@gmail.com. I'm a 3rd-generation Cowlitz County native. When I came home after medical school and residency, I thought practicing medicine here would be a temporary gig. I had promised my grandma I would try it for 6 months before moving on to a bigger city. Those 6 months turned into 37 lovely years. I discovered that I truly enjoy this smaller city where I run into friends at the grocery store or theater or in patronizing our local business. I love Lake Sacagawea, our tree-lined streets, and the people. While I've never dipped my toe into politics directly, I've had many leadership roles. Peace Health St. John Governing and Foundation Boards, Lower Columbia College Foundation Board, Columbia Theater Board of Directors, and Satan Prep's Original Development Board, among others. I have strong negotiating skills and enjoy problem solving while keeping my eye on the big picture. One of Longview's challenges, Hope Village, will need creative funding to allow it to be more self-sustaining. Our economy could be stronger. I will work to find ways to attract new business, young professionals, and more tourists who spend money in our shops and restaurants. We can make Longview better together. I would appreciate your vote. Page 10. City of Longview, Council Position 5, 4-year term. Nick Aguirre. Contact information, phone 360-957-5026, email aguirre98632@hotmail.com. I'm Nick, a husband, father, an overly taxed blue-collar mill worker, and AWPPW 153 member of over 20 years. The United States is a democratic republic. You, the voter, chooses who best will represent your values. I hope to provide you with a clear understanding of my own values to help you decide if I am the candidate that best represents your own. These shared values will be the lens through which I govern and will not stray. I believe the government should be ran as efficiently as possible, with emphasis being put on infrastructure and public safety. I believe taxes should be kept at a minimum, strictly to fund government responsibilities mentioned above. I believe lowering citizens' tax burden is essential to enabling each individual's pursuit of happiness. Citizens are better stewards of their dollars than the government, allowing citizens to better decide how their hard-earned money is spent. Finally, and most importantly, I believe that the Lord Jesus Christ is my Savior, who ransomed me through his death on the cross, conquered death through his resurrection, and ascended to God the Father. I believe his promised return to establish eternal life in his glorious presence. Page 11. City of Longview, Council Position 6, 4-year term. Oliver Black. Contact information, phone 360-836-0962, email info@blackforlongview.com, website www.blackforlongview.com. When my family of 5 moved here in 2018, I fell in love with Longview. The beauty of the parks, trees, library, and the community has endless potential and opportunity. I got involved in local government as a member of the Parks Board in the past few years. As the Parks Board chair, I'm deeply concerned about the direction of the city. That is why I'm running for City Council. Council needs to be a place where the leaders have a vision for the future and the skills to get us there. I am running because I believe we all deserve a government that works for all of us, so my children and grandchildren can stay here and thrive. We need to elect a council that faces challenges head-on and focus on effective governance, not advancing political agendas. We also need fresh perspectives. As a parent and teacher in this community, I know the challenges that families are facing. I'm level-headed, willing to listen, and collaborative. Let's elect people focused on finding common ground, managing our resources, and making smart investments in our future and leading. Please vote for me, and let's choose Longview together. Page 12. City of Longview, Council Position 6, 4-year term. Chris Bryant. Contact information, phone 360-423-3048. Email chrisbryantmanagement.com. Website chrisbryant.us. We believe Longview's best days are ahead. I'm grateful for our city's history and fully invested in its future. Born and raised here, I returned after experiencing other parts of the state, nation, and world. 4 generations of my family live in Longview. As a fiduciary, investor, small business owner, and MBA in finance with 25 years in financial management, I've helped individuals, families, and organizations make sound decisions, acting primarily for the benefit of those I serve. I've prayed, voted, volunteered, helped during elections, and supported local candidates. Now I'm stepping forward to serve as one of your council members. My priority is clear: protect freedom for future generations, That means we must maintain a balanced, responsible city budget, encouraging job creation to boost our economy while applying a compassionate, common sense, conscience-oriented, and constitutional approach to our city's social issues. I believe free enterprise is the best system to build a just and prosperous society. I support fiscal policy grounded in cause and effect because freedom flourishes when we live within our means. I'm financially conservative. Debt is a threat and accountability is essential. I respectfully ask for your vote. Let's build a stronger Longview together. Page 13. City of Longview, Council Position 6, 4-year term. Josh Carter. Contact information. Phone 503-502-1003. Email joshforlongview@gmail.com. Website joshforlongview.com. For the past 10 years, I've been actively involved in boards and committees throughout Longview. This work wasn't about politics. It was about community, and it still is. I've led Rotary as club president, helped bring the Children's Discovery Museum back from a crisis, co-chaired the Downtown Advisory Council, and worked to strengthen local businesses through the Chamber and Lower Columbia professionals. My background includes years in radio, running a local marketing firm, and now analyzing data to help businesses make smarter decisions. I've seen what moves a city forward: preparation, follow-through, and collaboration. I've also seen what gets in the way, and it's usually ego. I'm not running to win a title. I'm running to work. I'm here to listen, ask smart questions, and focus on decisions that make Longview stronger. This city was built with intention. If we want to protect what works and fix what doesn't, we need people at the table who've already been doing the work. I'll bring steady leadership, clear thinking, and a commitment to serving Longview, not performing for it. Page 14. City of Longview, Council Position 7, 4-year term. Wayne Nichols. Contact information. Phone 360-270-8032. Email wayne4longview@gmail.com. Website wayne4longview.com. As a lifelong Longview resident, I have recently seen our local elected officials focus more on divisive politics than governing. We have plenty of potential and exciting opportunities, but we face challenges. The budget crisis needs to be tackled while maintaining essential services. Our aging infrastructure needs repair and replacement. Homelessness demands action. Economic opportunities that leverage our assets need to be pursued. It is time to elect someone with the experience to navigate these complex and competing needs. My 41 years at Weyerhaeuser/Nippon included infrastructure inspection, water and wastewater treatment facilities maintenance and operation, and serving as a labor union officer and contract negotiator. I have also volunteered as a lieutenant firefighter/EMT and EMT instructor, credit union board member, youth sports, CASA, court-appointed special advocate, Cowlitz County Elections worker, community theater participant, and mentor at both Longview high schools. I know we can find results-based solutions that will serve the entire community. I possess the maturity, experience, and collaboration skills necessary to ensure that the Longview City government is serving all people. Longview needs leaders who will focus on the future and make government work. I have experience that matters. I ask for your vote. Page 15. City of Longview, Council Position 7, 4-year term. Spencer Boudreau. Contact information, phone 360-751-3982. Email electspencerboudreau@gmail.com. Longview's Mayor Spencer Boudreau is doing the work for our city. Spencer has led the City Council as mayor to protect neighborhoods and allocate funding to additional police officers for safer streets. He supports our first responders and advocated for funding for new radios and vital equipment to ensure that they can carry out their highly technical, high-risk jobs to keep our city safe. Spencer led the effort to fund 3 additional patrol officers and is working to crack down on open drug use. Spencer Boudreau has safeguarded small businesses through zoning changes, prioritized development, and worked to make it easier to build new homes in our community through permitting changes. He's led the charge to fund water quality projects and infrastructure needs, and voted no on every tax increase in the last 4 years. Spencer has worked to build consensus with council on the city budget and hiring a city manager, and has brought more public involvement to local government. Re-elect Longview's Mayor Spencer Boudreau to the Longview City Council. He's running to keep doing the work for our city, not to play political games. Page 16. City of Longview, Council Position 7, 4-year term. Mary Ann Chambers. Contact information, phone 360-957-3899. Email marianne4longview@icloud.com. I have been a resident of Longview and Kelso for most of my life. I'm the youngest of 9 kids, and we grew up in South Kelso. My family has always believed in community service from our parents. My father taught me that it's never about yourself, it's about the kids. It's about the people in your community. It has become obvious in the past few years that this is a lesson some members of the council have never learned. I'm a Gonzaga graduate in business administration and current resident of Longview. My experiences are varied and vast, from a tasting room manager at a small winery to being part of a team that successfully managed a multi-million-dollar business, meeting our financial goals each year. I've volunteered on numerous boards and positions, including a 7th grade boys basketball coach, chair of Project Longview, vice chair, Longview Park Board, and finance chair of Go Forth. Additionally, in 2009, I organized one of the largest and most successful community events in the area, the Cardboard Boat Regatta. I'm running for city council to put business acumen, honesty, and integrity back into the council. Page 17. Fort Vancouver Regional Library. Fort Vancouver Regional Library District, Proposition 1, Levy Lid Lift. The Board of Trustees of the Fort Vancouver Regional Library District adopted Resolution 2025-01 concerning its regular property tax levy. This proposition would authorize the district to restore its regular property tax levy to 50 cents per $1,000 of assessed value for the collection in 2026 to provide continued funding for the library district's operation and maintenance. The resulting dollar amount of the 2026 levy would be used for the purpose of computing subsequent levy limitations as provided by RCW 84.55. Should this proposition be approved? Yes? No. Explanatory statement. State law allows Fort Vancouver Regional Library, FVRL, to collect up to 50 cents per $1,000 of assessed property value per year for general operations and maintenance. However, due to tax limitation laws, FVRL has collected at a rate below 50 cents per $1,000 since 2014. Passage of this proposition would restore FVRL's levy rate to 50 cents per $1,000 for 2026. The resulting 2026 levy amount would then be used to calculate all applicable tax limitations thereafter. Approval of this proposition would provide funding necessary to sustain FVRL's operation and maintenance. Rejection of this proposition would mean reduced funding of FVRL, necessitating reductions to library operations and maintenance. Page 18. Argument 4. Invest in our community's future. Vote yes for libraries. Vote yes for Proposition 1. We have a vital choice to make. Fort Vancouver Regional Libraries, FVR libraries, are the heart of our community, connecting 550,000 neighbors across 4,200 square miles to books, technology, programs, and spaces for learning and growth. This levy provides 96% of the funding that keeps our libraries open and thriving. Without it, services will face deep cuts, fewer hours, fewer staff, fewer materials, and hundreds of programs that support children, seniors, families, and job seekers. Libraries could close, services would shrink, and access for rural and underserved areas would be deeply impacted. Libraries aren't a luxury. They are vital to education, opportunity, and community well-being. A yes vote means both sustaining what we love about our libraries while adding more hours, more resources, and building a stronger, more resilient community for everyone who calls this region home. Whether you visit often or not, strong libraries strengthen the entire community. Let's protect this vital resource, today and for the future. Let's keep them open, vibrant, and thriving, now and for future generations. Vote yes on Proposition 1. Argument against. While library services are a pillar of a thriving community, the FVRL Board of Trustees has failed in their duty to utilize taxpayer funds in a prudent and transparent manner and has not earned the right to request an increase from the people they serve. Since 2022, FVRL has failed to participate in the Washington State Public Library wage study, leaving taxpayers in the dark as to how much of their money is going to executive salaries rather than being invested in the community. According to the WPEA, FVRL's current executive director was hired at a salary of over $200,000, while frontline workers made just over minimum wage. This would make FVRL's executive director the second highest paid in the state, despite FVRL only serving the fifth largest population. Instead of pledging to cut bloated executive salaries should their levy fail to pass, the board has instead declared that they will immediately cut frontline staff hours and services by 30%. In addition to their lack of transparency, the board and FVRL management have continually conceded to the demands of MAGA extremists, failing to provide vital services to marginalized groups, especially LGBTQ+ kids and families. Despite all other surrounding library systems providing these services, some with smaller budgets and populations, FVRL continues to cower in the face of a vocal minority. Until FVRL and the board can prove that they are dedicated to financial transparency and properly serving our community, I urge you to vote no on this levy lift. Page 19. Rebuttal of Argument 4. No rebuttal of Statement 4 was submitted. Rebuttal of Argument Against. FVRL is wholly transparent in all operations and use of taxpayer funds with information publicly available. FVRL is audited annually by the State Auditor's Office and submits an annual public library survey available online. FVRL has not had a levy lid lift on the ballot for 15 years, although the population increase makes FVRL the fifth largest library district in the state. The executive director is the seventh highest paid among those peers. Argument 4 prepared by Scott Anderson. Email scottanderson98648@gmail.com. Phone 509-713-2221. Jan Oliva. Email janoliva@comcast.net. Cheyenne Pantoa White. Email cheyennnesw@gmail.com. Argument Against prepared by Amy Hotchkiss. Email hotchkisslou@gmail.com. Phone 360-910-3495. This is the end of the recording.